Hello everybody, this is Dr. Leili Hatami. In this video, we're going to cover Chapter 1, the human body and orientation. First, you should know the definition of anatomy and physiology. Anatomy is the study of the structure of body parts and their relationship to one another. In anatomy, you're going to study where the organs like your lungs, your kidneys, heart are located. What are the structure of these organs? What are the arteries, veins, nerves which supply these organs? Or what is the relationship of organs to each other? Physiology is the study of the function of body parts, how they work to carry out life-sustaining activities. So in physiology, we're going to study the kidneys function, bone growth, and beating of the heart. There are some topics of physiology. The anatomy physiology courses will help you learn structures and functions of body parts so you can understand the role of individual organs and body systems and how they interact to support life. In summary, anatomy focuses on structure and how something is put together, whereas physiology is the study of how these different structures work together. For example, anatomy would be the study of the structure of red blood cells. So in anatomy, we're going to study the structure of red blood cells, and physiology would be the study of how red blood cells function, how red blood cells carry oxygen throughout your body. We're going to study the function of those cells. You would have a hard time learning and understanding physiology if you did not understand anatomy. There are three major types of anatomy: gross or macroscopic anatomy, microscopic anatomy, and developmental anatomy. Gross or macroscopic anatomy is the study of large visible structures. Macro means large, though gross anatomy is also referred to as macroscopic anatomy, which is the study of anatomical structures that can be seen by the naked eye, such as the external and internal organs of the body. Gross anatomy can be further subdivided into three different fields: regional anatomy, systemic anatomy, and surface anatomy. Regional anatomy looks at all the structures in a particular area of the body. In regional anatomy, the body is sectioned into regions such as head and neck, trunk, upper and lower extremities, and then study these organs region by region. Systemic anatomy looks at just one system at a time. In systemic anatomy, the body is divided into 11 organ systems, such as the respiratory system, cardiovascular system, nervous system, muscular system, and then it's going to study the organs system by system. And finally, the surface anatomy looks at internal structures as they relate to overlying skin. Is the study of external anatomical features without dissection by using some landmarks. The microscopic anatomy is the other branches of the anatomy. Deals with the structures too small to be seen by your naked eyes. It's the study of tiny anatomical structures such as tissues and cells that can be seen and examined with magnification aids such as microscope. Cytology, the study of cells, and histology, the study of tissues, are examples of microscopic anatomy. Developmental anatomy studies anatomical and physiological development throughout life. Embryology is the study of developments before birth. We're going to subdivide physiology based on organ system. For example, there are renal physiology, cardiovascular physiology, which they're going to study the kidneys function and heart and blood vessels function. The physiology is the scientific study of the chemistry and physics of the structures of the body and the ways in which they work together to support the function of life. So it often focuses on cellular and molecular levels of the body. Before you begin to study the different structures and functions of the human body, it is helpful to consider its basic architecture. The human body is very organized from the smallest chemical level to whole organismal level. We're going to divide our level of organization to these levels. First, and the smallest one, is chemical level. Then we have cellular level, tissue level, organ level, organ system level, and organismal level. The simplest level of the structural ladder is the chemical level. At the chemical level, we have atoms, molecules, and organelles. So at this level, atoms, the tiny building blocks of matter, combine to form molecules such as water, sugar, and proteins, and then molecules combine together to form organelles, which we have inside of the microscopic cells. We're not gonna study the chemical level at the level of atoms and molecules, which is mostly based on the chemistry. We're going to study from the cellular level. At the cellular level, we have a cell. A cell is the smallest and basic unit of life. So cell is the smallest and basic unit of life. So in the questions, you have what is the smallest and basic unit of life? You should answer it's the cellular level or the cell. The example of cells like we have red blood cells, we have bone cells like osteoclast, osteoblast, we have the fibroblast, we have adipocyte or fat cells. There are about 200 different types of cells in our body. The next level is tissue level. Tissues are a group of similar cells that carry out a specific function together. The examples of tissue can be like epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, nervous tissue, which there are some tissues or the main type of tissues that we have in our body. For example, cartilage is a tissue, fat is a tissue, blood is a tissue. They are a group of similar cells that carry out a specific function together. The next level is an organ level, which contains two or more types of tissue. The example of organ can be brain, your stomach, you can see there is an organ, your liver, your pancreas, and even your skin is an organ because they composed of two or more types of tissue. The next level is organ system level. Organs that work closely together to perform major functions or meet physiological needs of the body is going to make organ system, which we have about 11 organ system in our body, like our cardiovascular system, integumentary system, digestive system, respiratory system. There are some examples of our organ system. And the organismal level, all organ systems combine to make the whole organism, like you and me. So, for sure, you should know these level of organization from the chemical level to cellular, tissue level, organ system, and then organismal level. This picture also you can see these organ level of organization. So, for example, the chemical level, which we have atoms, combine to form molecules, and the molecules can make organelles, which we have inside of the cells. At the cellular level, we have example of cells like muscle cells, which is made up of some molecules, and the muscle cells is going to make tissues, consist of similar types of cells. So we have muscle as cell and also muscle as tissue, smooth muscle tissue. And then the two or more than two type of tissues can together make an organ like blood vessel. And blood vessels and heart together can make a system, the cardiovascular system. And then the 11 organ system can make an organism. So in this way we have the chemical level, cellular level, tissue level, organ level, organ system level, and organismal level. At the cellular level, our example is a smooth muscle cell. At the tissue level, our example is a smooth muscle tissue. And at the organ level, our example is blood vessel. And at the organ system level, our example is cardiovascular system. The different organ systems each have different functions and therefore unique roles to perform in physiology. These many functions can be summarized in terms of necessary life functions. Human beings maintain their boundaries. They can move, respond to environmental changes, take in and digest nutrients, carry out metabolism, dispose of waste products, reproduce themselves and grow, which we call them as the necessary life functions or maintenance of life. So in this way, maintenance of life involves these 8 factors: maintaining boundaries, movement, responsiveness, digestion, metabolism, excretion, reproduction, and growth. The first life function is maintaining boundaries, which is a separation between internal and external environment. This boundary is very important for maintaining life. At the cellular level, we have plasma membrane as our boundary. Every cell of the human body is surrounded by a membrane that separates its contents from the outside interstitial fluid. If this is our cell, a cell has a plasma membrane which is going to surround the cell and separate its content from the outside, which we have the interstitial fluid. The interstitial fluid is the fluid between cells. Without plasma membrane, cell can die. So plasma membrane maintain boundaries with separating cells from the internal and external environment of the cells. At the organismal level, there is a skin which is going to make boundary. Skin separates organism from environment. Your body is enclosed by the integumentary system or skin. The integumentary system protects internal organs from drying out, from pathogens, from the damaging effects of heat, sunlight, and unbelievable number of chemical substances in the external environment. So in one word, we can say that the maintaining boundaries means maintaining life. We're going to separate our internal and external environment from each other by these boundaries. At the cellular level, there is plasma membrane which is going to separate cells, and at the organismal level, there is skin which is going to separate organism from environment. The next necessary life function is movement. Includes all the activities promoted by the muscular system. So our muscular system is responsible for movement. Movement of body parts occur via skeletal muscles. Movement of some substances like our blood, food, and urine is going to happen in our body through our cardiac muscle function and smooth muscle function. The movement at the cellular level is called contractility. Responsiveness is the other necessary life function, is the ability to sense and respond to stimuli. Responsiveness or irritability is the ability to sense changes or stimuli in the environment and then react to them. For example, if you accidentally touch a hot pan, you involuntarily pull your hand away from the painful stimulus, the pan. Or when the amount of carbon dioxide in your blood rises to a dangerously high level, your breathing rate speeds up to blow off the excess carbon dioxide. Because nerve cells are highly irritable and can communicate rapidly with each other, so the nervous system has the major responsibility of responsiveness. The next necessary life function is digestion. Digestion, it means breakdown of ingested foodstuff followed by absorption of simple molecules into blood, which our digestive system is responsible for this function. Metabolism. Metabolism is a broad term that refers to all chemical reactions that occur within the body and all of its cells. So all chemical reactions that occur in body cells is called metabolism, which is sum of all catabolism and anabolism. So we're going to divide metabolism to catabolism and anabolism. The catabolism means breaking down complex substances into simpler building blocks, as in digestion. And anabolism, which is making larger structures from smaller one, which is the synthesis of molecules. For example, synthesis of larger molecules like proteins is called anabolism, and breaking down of molecules like breaking down of proteins into amino acid is called catabolism. The next necessary life function is excretion, is the process of removing waste products from our body, which these waste products are from metabolism and digestion. For example, the digestive system rids the body of indigestible food residues in feces. The urinary system disposes of nitrogen-containing metabolic waste in urine, and the skin disposes of various waste products as component of sweat. Respiratory system disposes of carbon dioxide as the result of metabolism. So in this way, our urinary system is involved, our respiratory system is involved, and also our digestive system and integumentary system all are involved for this function, removal of waste, which waste can be urea, carbon dioxide, feces, or even the waste product from our sweat. Reproduction is the next necessary life function, can occur at the cellular level and the organismal level. At the cellular level, the reproduction involves division of cells for growth or repair, and at the organismal level, reproduction means the production of offspring. Growth is the other necessary life function, which can be an increase in cell size or an increase in body size that is usually accomplished by an increase in number of cells. Humans are multicellular, so to function, individual cells must be kept alive. All cells depend on organ system to meet their survival needs. And there are 11 organ systems in our body that work together to maintain life. The integumentary system consists of skin, hair, and nails. Skin forms the external body covering, and it waterproofs the body and cushions and protects the deeper tissues from injury. With the help of sunlight, it produces vitamin D. It houses the sensory receptors which alert us to what is happening at the body surface, like our pain receptors, pressure receptors, temperature receptors. It houses the sweat glands, which going to excrete salts in perspiration and also helps regulate the body temperature, and also it houses the oil glands. Next system is the skeletal system, which consists of bones, cartilages, and joints. The skeletal system protects and supports our body organs. For example, our skull is going to enclose our brain and protect the brain. Or our rib cage is going to protect our heart, lungs, and major blood vessels. The skeletal system provides a framework so the muscles can attach to these bones and uses as to the bones and cause movement. Also, inside of the bones we have cavities, which we call them as bone marrow cavities, which they are responsible to form blood cells. Also, the bones act as a storehouse for minerals. The next system is muscular system. The muscles of the body have only one function: contraction. When this happens, a movement occurs. The mobility of the body as a whole reflects the activity of skeletal muscles, the large fleshly muscles attached to bones. When these contract, you are able to stand erect, walk, jump, grasp, throw a ball, or smile. The skeletal muscle actually form the muscular system. These muscles are distinct from the muscles of the heart and other hollow organs, which move fluids such as blood or urine or other substances such as food. So, the muscular system, it allows manipulation of the environment, locomotion, and facial expression. It maintains posture and also produces heat. The next system is nervous system. The nervous system is the body's fast-acting control system. It consists of brain, spinal cord, and nerves. The body must be able to respond to stimuli coming from outside of the body or inside of the body. The stimuli coming from outside of the body, such as light, sound, or changes in temperature, or the stimuli from inside of the body, such as decreases in oxygen or stretching of tissues. These are some example of function of nervous system. The endocrine system, like the nervous system, controls body activities. So this is the second controlling system in our body, the endocrine system. In endocrine system, we have the glands, endocrine glands, which they're going to secrete hormones and release them directly into the bloodstream. Some of the example of the endocrine glands are pineal gland, pituitary gland, thyroid gland, thymus, adrenal gland, pancreas, testes, and ovaries, which they're going to regulate the processes such as growth, reproduction, and metabolism. The next system is cardiovascular system. The primary organs of the cardiovascular system are heart and blood vessels. Heart pumps blood, and blood as a carrier delivers oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and other substances to the cells and picks up waste products such as carbon dioxide from the cells. Next is lymphatic system. Its organs include lymphatic vessels, lymph nodes, and other lymphoid organs such as spleen and tonsils, thymus. Their job is to pick up fluid leaked from blood vessels and then return it to the blood. The lymph nodes and other lymphoid organs houses the white blood cell, the lymphocytes. They are involved in immunity. So the immune response mounts the attack against foreign substances within the body. So our lymphatic system or immune system is going to make our immunity, and also its job is to pick up fluid leak from blood vessels and return it to the blood. The next system is respiratory system. Respiratory system consists of the nasal cavity, the pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchus, and lungs. The job of the respiratory system is to keep the body supplied with oxygen and remove carbon dioxide. The next system is digestive system. The organs of digestive system include the oral cavity, pharynx, esophagus, the stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, anus, and also there are some accessory organs like liver, salivary glands, pancreas, and their role is to break down food and deliver the resulting nutrients to the blood. The undigested food that remains in the tract leaves the body through the anus as feces. The next organ is the urinary system. It's composed of the kidneys, ureter, urinary bladder, and urethra. It removes the nitrogen-containing waste from blood. It regulates water, electrolyte, and acid-base balance of the blood. And the next system is reproductive system, which we have male reproductive system and female reproductive system. Their role is to produce offspring. The male testis produces sperm, and in female we have ovary, which is going to produce oocytes or female sex cells. In male reproductive system, also we have some other structures like scrotum, penis, accessory glands, and the duct system, which carries a sperm to the outside of the body. And at the female, there are duct system as well, which consists of uterine tubes, uterus, and vagina. There is interrelationships among body organ system. In this picture, you can see how the circulatory system works closely with other systems in our body. our digestive system, respiratory system, urinary system, and also integumentary system. We're going to take in nutrients through our digestive system, then breaking down the nutrients, and then the nutrients is going to be absorbed by our cardiovascular system. Then this cardiovascular system, our blood, which they absorb nutrients through our digestive system, is going to spread the nutrients throughout our body to the cells, and the cells can use these nutrients and then do the metabolism and make some waste products like carbon dioxide. And then carbon dioxide going to be transported by our blood, and then through the respiratory system we're going to eliminate the carbon dioxide. Then through the respiratory system we're going to take in oxygen, and then the cardiovascular system is going to distribute oxygen to all body cells. So in this way our body cells can use the oxygen. And the waste products that we have inside of our blood is going to be eliminated by our urinary system through urine. And also our integumentary system is going to separate our internal environment from the external environment. It protects our body. So in this way you can see that how some of these systems work closely together. Next topic is survival needs. Life is very fragile and requires that several factors be available. These factors are called survival needs to maintain life. They should be at the appropriate amounts. Too much or too little of these survival needs can be harmful. These are nutrients, oxygen, water, normal body temperature, and appropriate atmospheric pressure. Nutrients which the body takes in through food, it's going to provide chemicals that serve as a source of energy and cell building. The carbohydrates are the major source of energy for body cells. Proteins are essential for building cell structures. Fats provide the long-term energy storage, and also we need minerals and vitamins for the chemical reactions that go on in cells and for oxygen transport in the blood. Oxygen is the other survival needs. Without oxygen, all the nutrients in the world would be useless because the chemical reactions that release energy from food require oxygen. Human cells can survive for only a few minutes without it. So the oxygen is essential for the chemical reaction which we're going to release energy as ATP from our foods. Water is the most abundant chemical in our body. It provides the watery environment needed for chemical reactions, accounts for 60 to 80% of body weight, depending on the age of the individual. It's the single most abundant chemical substance in the body and provides the fluid base for body secretion and excretion. Normal body temperature is the other survival needs. Body temperature must be maintained at the 37 degrees centigrade or 98.6 degree Fahrenheit is the normal body temperature that we need for our body. If body temperature drops below the 37 degree or 98.6 degree Fahrenheit, metabolic reactions become slower. So it falls below the metabolic reaction, it goes slower and slower and slower and finally stop. If body temperature is too high, it goes above 37 degrees centigrade, the chemical reaction proceeds too rapidly and body proteins begin to break down. At either extreme, death occurs. The next survival needs is appropriate atmospheric pressure. The force exerted on the surface of the body by the weight of air is referred to as atmospheric pressure. Breathing and exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the lung depends on this atmospheric pressure. Please study the rest of this chapter in the second video. Thank you.